may jump in. We'll see. But the show must go on, and since it is 7:30 p.m. ish on a Sunday evening, we was away for a while, and now we are back live in the Man Cave. This is Polk, your number one source for high school basketball in the state of Florida, Polk County included. We got the All-State coach tapping in tonight. What's going on with your coach?
Coach, I am thankful for
Thankful.
you and starting this platform. I'm thankful for the many blessings that has been bestowed upon us. And I do not want to take that for granted, for sure.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yes, sir. We are appreciative and thankful that you saw enough value to give your time and expertise to it and continue to watch it grow has been unexplainable. I get asked that all the time. Did you see what's going on? Said, nope. Do you see what's coming? Nope. Just keep waking up and keep doing the right thing and keep doing right by kids, and you come up with an idea, and it just continues to take on a mind of its own. And at this point, it don't even belong to me, you, too, or anybody else no more. It don't even belong to us no more. That's the way I look at it. So, but I appreciate it. Appreciate it that we're able to do something that is impacting so many people. So the All-State PG, y'all know he's a busy man wearing a lot of hats this time of the year, so he may tap in, may not. But the show must go on regardless. So we are officially, except for those people on is it Hollingsworth Road, except for those people on Lake Hollingsworth Road, it is officially basketball season. But before we jump into that, first of all, shout out to the Lakeland Dreadnoughts. We don't want to let that go. The Lakeland football Dreadnoughts, Coach Frazier, Coach Hen, one of our guys, family, and the rest of the staff, and most importantly, the kids, went over to Orange County, and we don't care if it's basketball, football, hopscotch, we always want to celebrate when we go to Orange County and come out with wins. So shout out to the Dreadnoughts, man. Went into a hostile environment Friday night, knocked off the previously number one ranked undefeated Edgewater, Orlando Edgewater folks, and really wasn't even close as the score indicated. But, they got the W, so they are in the Final Four, so congrats to them. So it's not basketball season yet, although they will be playing some basketball games this week, which that's breaking news because, Coach Hen don't play basketball for football over with. So that's a post in itself. So, but also, man, congrats to Lake Wells. Lake Wells on a great season. Came up short this past Friday night over in another tough Orlando environment, playing over there in Orlando Jones. So shout out to Coach Johnson? That's his name, right? Coach Johnson and his staff and all the kids, man, on a great season. We know we basketball, but we Polk County and we kids. So I just wanted to give a shout out to those programs. But to everybody else, it is basketball season. Some people played last week. Some people did. We'll talk about that in a minute. But, Coach, anything that you have on your
Yes, sir. I got two things, Coach.
Yes, sir.
One, and it's always been this way, Do you agree with the person that scores the most points being the MVP of a tournament? Or should it actually be the most valuable player on that particular team?
I personally do not like that logic, but when did that become the only metric? That to me that shows, okay, I'm running a tournament, I'm running an event, I'm running around, I'm making sure stuff is running, the concession stand going good with people in place, and then the game over with. So I just got to run to a scorebook, and okay, John Ball scored 20 points. So John Ball, you get the player of the game. But I ain't sat there and watched the game to see that Ray Stevens had like 4 steals, hit a couple of timely threes, took a charge, did some stuff that really changed the flow of the game and the outcome that allowed John Ball to get them 20 points or whatever. So I've never been a fan of just that. Now, if the person that was the most valuable player of the game happened to score the most points, then I agree with it, but not if that just being the only criteria. So no, I don't agree with that. But it happens a whole lot. And so what's your take on why it happens so much? Is it just people not watching the game?
I think that's one big part of it. And I think another big part of it is that we have always glorified scoring and offense instead of the impact of other categories.
Okay. Shout out to Coach. Shout out to Forrest Twin. My boy, always gonna rep Mulberry, so we gonna show you love because you're a Mulberry legend. But anyway, so we glorify. I'm sorry, that was a little quick commercial. So we glorify offense, but when was the last high scoring team that's won a championship? Not high scoring because they cause a ton of turnovers, but like just getting out the bus. When I think offense like that, I think Golden State. All right,
Mm-hmm.
in their heyday, especially when they had Durant, they
Yeah.
just you got to stop multiple people. No matter how good a defense they played, they were never known as a defensive team during those times. It was straight offense.
Mm-hmm.
So when have we known a team to just win off of straight um, offense? At some point, you got to stop people, right?
Coach, at some point you got to stop people, and even the people um, that we glorify, like the Bulls team, Coach. They was really good defensively.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even Golden State, Coach, they were
They can
good.
guard you. Yeah.
They can guard people. They had people like Draymond Green, Iguodala, um, Harrison Barnes on the first one. They had people that can guard people, Coach.
But
You
you
know what I'm
just
saying?
never heard about them guarding people. But
Because
they could.
we glorify scoring, Coach. That's all we do is glorify scoring, and I don't think Iguodala won that MVP particularly only because of his offense. That's probably the only person I can think of that wasn't. I don't think he was the highest scorer in that series.
No. And then he only coming out the bench too, right?
Yeah, he's about the only one that I can think of. But it's not a common trend, and I wonder why. I
To that,
really wonder why.
and this is not the same, but kind of that same vein. So here's what we're saying is we glorify offense to the point that it's really not as important because obviously you got to score more than another team to win, right? But
Mhm.
that's not the end all. But that's been glorified.
It's been glorified.
Another thing that's been glorified is starting. Like I start. I used to say, and we really did this in Lakeland, not at Lakeland because we when you I'm sure you gotta be able to try to stroke some egos because you can only throw five out there at first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our thing used to be it ain't about who's starting the game. You want to be finishing the game. You want to be out there when we trying to win the game. That's more important than you running through and hearing your name and going and shake the other coach's hand. That's more important. But that's very hard to sell to these jitterbugs nowadays. When did we get to the point where, or maybe it's always been that way, that starting is more important than finishing?
Coach, I think they get caught up in getting their name called by the announcer, people cheering, and, getting the little handshakes together, all that type stuff. I don't know what it is about starting. And a perfect example of that was my 2012 team. Douglas Brooks did not start for me. You know what I'm saying? But he was one of my best five. When when it was time for the game to finish, he was on the floor. And coach, Kevin Capers, he came to me as a senior coach. He did not start for me until the end of January. And that was because of a injury. And I told him that when he came that he was not going to start, but he will get starter minutes. And he finished the games also. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
if you start and you getting 18 minutes, and I come off the bench and I'm getting 25 minutes, well, I mean, what are we
talking about?
what we really talking about? Like, and you get some kids get out of whack if they not starting. Like, we missing the point somewhere. We're missing it. And so is it the kids coming in missing it, or is us as coaches getting that message across that's missing it? Because it's a glitch in the matrix somewhere in that.
Yeah, I think we ought to blame the kids, the coaches, and the parents. You know what I'm saying? What I understood, what I think is important as a coach is that you understand your players. And the reason why Kevin didn't start is because the couple people that I had starting that particular year, coach, they was fast starters. So whatever production I was going to get out of them was going to be in the first and second quarter. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't get that out of them early, I knew I wasn't going to get it in the second half. You know what I'm saying? So it was more of a strategy than, who I think who was the better players. You know what I'm saying? Because clearly, you know what I'm saying, Kevin, one of the best players that ever come through here. You know what I'm saying? Douglas Brooks, one of the best players ever come through here. You know, even my 2018 team with the girl, we had Trinity Hardy. Coach, she came off the bench. She should have started, but we needed her to come off the bench. You know what I'm saying, to give us that 6-man. When they substituted and when we substituted, we elevated our roster. You know what I'm saying? Instead of it was chess, coach. It was just chess.
So it's easier. Does it become easier to sell that when you got a really good team?
It's easier to sell that when you have the culture and the resume behind it. Because if not, coach, you don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to listen to you. And things of that nature. They see what everybody else doing, and they're comparing themselves to everybody else. Where such and such is starting over here, and I know I'm better than him, or I know I'm better than such and such that you're starting over me. You know what I'm saying? Instead of looking at the bigger picture.
See, I think maybe starting may hold more weight in like football than basketball because basketball is such quick pace, quick change. You can have 30 things happen from one from the free throw. We shoot a free throw. By the time it's a dead ball, there could be 20 things gonna happen in that little bit of time. And football, that same amount of time, you may have ran 2 plays to about 30 plays in basketball. So I don't think that it's the same, but I think that it's the same across sports. Well, at least football and basketball, whether you starting or you not starting. And I never got that, but I'd imagine it's easier to sell that when you got a good team
Mm-hmm.
than if you say you're not starting and you're not on a good team. I imagine it would be easier to do. And then if you keep selling it like we got 7 starters, type stuff. And I've seen coaches do that, which is smart. They don't say we got 5. I got 7 starters. It's just a matter of who might, who start type deal. I can only put 5 out there, but I got 7 stars. They're gonna get the same amount of minutes. We're gonna kind of run the same stuff. This is our core group. So I think, like you said with the coach, if you're selling it that way, Then if I drop into 7, it may be a thing where that don't necessarily mean that 7 is a death sentence.
Yeah.
But I just always just kind of brought me in mind when you said that's kind of been like a focus. And like the Coach Brooks, shout out to Coach Brooks in the chat, Coach Jones in the chat. Coach Jones is everywhere. Coach Jones, I pull up Polk County girls basketball, and he in Warner, he over at Discovery, he is on location, man. So shout out to Coach Jones, man, for getting it in and pounding the pavement and supporting the girls. Coach Brooks, when I was at Jenkins, we had actually had, and I didn't do it. I kind of took it when I kept it going. Coach Myers created this pride chart that he created. He had like a big old like poster board, and he would have all of the kids. It was very like immaculate. He have all the players' names on the board, and he would have each game, all our games on top, and he kept a running total the whole year. And he had one of the assistant coaches that kept track of it, and you got points. You got graded each game, and you get points for taking a charge. I think you got like 5 points for taking a charge. You got like 2 points for a block. You got points for steals, deflections. But coach, you didn't get no points for points. You got no points for anything offensive. It was all about defense and hustle. And at the end of the year, the person who had the most points got the pride shot award at the banquet. And it was like a real big deal. It was like almost he played up as big as getting the MVP. Mm-hmm. And it was like a running thing, and it was always and if you did something, if you turned the ball over, it was like a negative. If you caused a turnover, it's positive. So he was meticulous with that, and so he celebrated all of these things. So rebounds, you got points for rebounds. So diving on the floor for loose balls, you got double points type stuff. So he had somebody who they will record it, and then you would go back and chart it, and it was it was, and I used it too. And so in that way, that Frank has entered the chat. Frank don't even say good evening. He just LBD. But I like that because once again, he glorified something that doesn't get glorified. And a lot of people, Coach Meyer was not a fan-friendly coach. He was not everybody's coach. I remember, I went out there with Coach, and I coached JV the first year when I got there and, helped out on varsity. And then I took over varsity the next year because Coach left to go take care of some family stuff. Man, about 4 or 5 guys that would not play for Coach Meyer. They just like the day after I got the job, before it was even like announced, because I went down to the gym like just to, go in the locker room, whatever I was going to do. Because all 4 or 5 of them guys was at the locker room waiting on me. Coach, when we getting started? Now, they ain't sniffed the gym while Coach Meyer was the coach. They just couldn't. We just can't play for him. But they was there for me the first day. But I did the same chart. Now, I wasn't, obviously I didn't coach like Coach Meyer did, but I just always thought that was interesting. I never know where he came up with that, but it was definitely a way to make sure that you saw the importance of everything except scoring. Although you got to score, but that's not really what's going to get you. That's important, I guess, at the end of the day, especially in a team sport. So that was the interesting way that he did it. So when Coach Brooks put all that up there, that kind of gave me a little flashback. So you say you had another one, Coach?
I do have another one. Okay. So it came up during the break, about us being in the gym on Thanksgiving, and some other coaches chimed in. Coach, what is the expectation about practicing and playing during the break? Like, what should it be? What should that look like? I know what it looked like for me when I was at Lake Weather. I know what it looks like at Winter Haven. But, like, what should that look like, Coach?
You saying Should everybody be in the gym like y'all was in the gym?
I
Having them girls in the gym so they couldn't eat no turkey and
coach,
dressing.
coach, it wasn't even ready yet, so they had time.
Okay. Now I get it. I get it from both sides. I mean, like Lakeland and Lake Well, they had to practice on Thanksgiving. You know, I mean, if you're playing, you're practicing, right? Now some people chose not to play this week, so which was interesting. But do I understand with what you all are trying to do and what the expectation is at Winter Haven? I understand being in the gym, especially like you say early. If we get you here like 9 and you go home by 11, I mean, like you say, stuff ain't gonna be ready to about 1, 2 o'clock anyway. So in that sense, I don't really have an issue with it. I practiced. We practiced on during Thanksgiving at Jenkins. We didn't do it as much as Lakeland because we weren't really playing because we at the football school. But I mean, all things being equal, y'all had 2 games that weekend. Now, if we didn't have any games that weekend, maybe if we practice on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe I get them off Thursday, we back in there Friday, something like that. Mm-hmm. But if we're playing, then you got to practice. So, and I would venture to say y'all wasn't the only ones that was practicing. You just decided to post that y'all was doing it. And then, obviously the level that y'all at. I mean, because for comparison's sake, y'all practiced on Thanksgiving morning. Coach Blicker's in the gym. They not practicing, but he in the gym on a Sunday. If I'm practicing Saturday morning and it wasn't no school, what's really different? So I see where folks would have something to say, but I also see from as a coach, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. And then you even said they're gonna be there Christmas too. Now I think maybe you probably got some people a little tight was when you say they better be here Christmas and people already know they ain't going to do all this kind of, so then that probably was where, people kind of like, hold on, coach, but you can, it's if I'm at Winter Haven, LBD, shout out to Coach Frank, I can do that. If I'm at Bartow with McGriff, it's certain places. I'll say this: it's certain places in the county I think you can do that and get away with it. And I don't know if "get away with" is the right kind of term, but just can do it. And there's other places I don't think that you can do that.
Yeah, but you're right. It's due to circumstances. We played on Friday. You know what I'm saying? We played on Saturday, so we couldn't afford to give them off. You know what I'm saying? And like we talking about Christmas, right? Coach, we fly out the next morning to go to Portland. Coach, we got to be in the gym.
You got to be in the gym the way y'all schedule set up. That's what I'm saying. The schedule kind of dictates it. But what I've learned, Coach, and you know this, you don't have to. You and Johnny don't have to sit there and fight with them about practicing. You know what I'm saying? They want to practice. They want. They won't. That's not a. They want to practice. The parents understand that, like you say, the culture. So that's an expectation that y'all gonna be practicing. That wasn't no shock. I don't think that was the shock to nobody inside y'all program or out that y'all were practicing. I think it would have been shocked if it's certain programs if they not practicing, you shocked. Like Winter Haven Girls, Bartow Boys, Santa Fe Boys. There's certain programs like, they ain't practicing. So I don't think that was a big shock to anybody. It definitely wasn't a shock to me that y'all was in there practicing. Game or no game. But like you said, obviously you had a game. So you gotta, and it's a season now, right? It's a season. And why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you practice? Now, it'd be one thing if y'all was practicing like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, then that would be like, okay, that might be a little much. But, because now you really jumping in. But, yeah, Coach, if you ain't practicing, what are they going to be doing at 9 o'clock in the morning? Sleep?
Exactly, coach. So why not go ahead and just get your little workout in and
Yeah,
go ahead and get home? Like they always say something like, Coach, why we getting up on Christmas morning? Like it's not like you getting up early anymore. Like you trying to be up at 5, 6 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Just to see what you got up under the tree. Y'all don't
yeah,
go out of bed at 9, 10 o'clock anyway.
yeah. Y'all done opening presents like that. I
Yeah,
mean, and I mean, like you say, now other schools in the county, you can't get away with that because, like you say, parents understand for y'all. Other schools, parents don't understand. Like this is our time. You're not going, and they
yeah.
stand on that. And so, I really think that,
But
and
I
if
also we're a family too. You know what I'm saying? And we
right,
treat them as such. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you you got to split time between families like when you marry. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So it's not like we don't have that family environment also, but at the same time, if we're not in the gym getting better, somebody else is still working. Like I said, you got 24 hours in the day. You know what I'm saying? Why not just get up, get a quick workout? We usually go really, really early, so they're home, you know, back where they're supposed to be, so they can have the rest of the day with their family. So we're not taking up the whole entire day.
right.
Um,
And how. And let's just keep it real. Does the festivities ever start when they're supposed to start? Like, okay, 2 o'clock is suggested. That's in a perfect
suggested
world.
time, cuz.
Yeah, close
That's
2 o'clock.
suggested
Come
time.
on, man. 2 o'clock is you walking at 2 o'clock. You want to? You gonna be in there pulling some greens, and you're gonna be running to the store to get some ingredients that they forgot for the cake or pie, or whatever. Man, please, you fall up in there about 4 o'clock. You right on time. You got that second football. You got that second game just coming on, and uncle and auntie just got there. So, man, please, this. But I get it. But and then sometimes, coach, people be looking. They be looking for something, and
Yeah, they
it
do.
ain't like you hiding it. Okay, you want to know how we, to this point, this level, because of stuff like this. Now, if you saying we ain't doing it, then okay, that's what y'all doing over there. But over here, this is what we're doing, and the results of what we're doing kind of speak for themselves.
Uh,
Speak for themselves. That's like victory. Obviously, they had to practice. They was gone. They had to jump on the
Coach, they
plane, right?
played on Thanksgiving, Coach.
They played on Thanksgiving. So what we saying? What we talking about, coach? They
They
played on the people. The
played.
people don't care about that. So what we saying about that? Y'all should have scheduled that tournament because they play on Thanksgiving. Come on now. So it's sometimes, coach. People just speaking of victory, man. Shout out to breaking news. Shout out to victory. Went up to Illinois and we'll jump into last week recap, Coach. John went up to Illinois, man, and went 4-0. Won the whole tournament. Played two teams from Illinois, one team from California, and one team from Houston. So great, and they got down yesterday, championship game. I watched it. They got down and they just kept battling back, Coach. They kept battling back, and I know they lost Quentin, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Coach, if you ain't seen this Christian Fuller kid yet, I know you done seen him.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ain't seen this Christian Fuller kid, uh, Coach, he'll he, he'll walk in bucket, Coach. Like, and he don't take bad. Coach, he averaging 16, 18, 19, and they all good shots. He ain't forcing nothing. He ain't like no black hole type stuff. Like he is amazingly efficient. And then you put him with like Tuck. Tuck had an off night. I think the third one. I think he had an off night. But coach, he got off night. But you got this Fuller kid, and then he made all tournament team. He did. Tucker made all tournament, and
So
MJ.
MJ is a problem, coach.
MJ won MVP, so you got so they don't even run sets for MJ, coach.
MJ is a
They don't even run,
problem.
they don't even run sets for MJ, man.
Name a better big kid in the last 10 years, coach. Like, coach, it's tough to find a big that's been better than MJ right now.
We
It'd be
got it.
tough.
I mean, if you sit and think about it, coach, that's a good point. I mean, he ain't taking no shots outside the paint. He ain't forcing nothing. Ain't no bad shots. He is just relentless. You
Mm-hmm.
can't block. You can't block his shot.
Mm-mm. And I don't know how, because he don't jump very high.
You don't jump a hamburger high, coach, but you cannot block his shot. I'm sitting here
But
like
you remind me of a Zebo, coach.
That's a great
He
comparison.
remind me of a Zebo, coach. He's strong. He's physical. Coach, he rebounds. He plays D. Coach, he runs the floor. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Coach Fitzgerald, man, because I think it's a total team effort. You know what I'm saying? Even when Tuck wasn't playing well, Coach Miles stepped up. Thought I never really seen the other kid, the Arik kid. He had good moments.
Yes.
So
You got the Canadian kid starting to settle in a little bit. He gave him a lot of good minutes yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, coach, they playing great team ball right now. The puzzle is fitting together. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think they putting like all their egos aside and just he got total buy-in about winning games. Whoever time it is, whoever's got that hot hand, that's who we're gonna feed and that's who we're gonna support and encourage. And everybody else is just gonna do what they do.
Coach, and they putting multiple guys in double figures.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple guys. So when you sitting down a game plan for that, this guy averaging 16, this guy averaging 16, this guy averaging 15, this guy averaging 14, this guy averaging 11. What we doing, coach? I mean,
man, that's a team I had in 11 and in 12. Coach, I had 4 guys in double figures. You know what I'm saying? So you got to pick your poison and who you gonna stop.
Most defenses are not geared to stop 4 people. Maybe 2, take your top 2 away, whatever. But they got, and that ain't counting. They got some guys on the bench that could come in and
fill it up.
Come in and give them some minutes too. That's they look real good, and they look real good early, which is scary.
Mm-hmm.
Another team that looked real good early, coach, is Bartow. Bartow is playing shorthanded right now. I think they get Wallace back after Thanksgiving. Because they sent me the box score the other night. They only play like 7 guys. And shout out once again. Shout out to big Derwin Link. Derwin Link picked up a SEC offer today, coach, from Mississippi State.
Mississippi State.
28. Derwin Link is Derwin Link is that thing starting to come together. It's starting and James Ratter, I know people was looking at us crazy when we was talking about him this summer, coach. You know we got some raised eyebrows and what them got. Just chill now. Ratter got him on his back right now. What 20, 25, 8. And coach, they knocked off Stranahan, coach, and it was real quiet about them people knocking off Stranahan shorthanded. We weren't talked about enough, coach.
They knocked off Olympia too, coach. You know what I'm saying? So, like, people, like, we watch basketball too. Like, everything is subjective and opinionated, of course, but we watch basketball too, coach. You know what I'm saying? And
basketball too. We kind of got a little idea of what we're talking. That ain't got nothing to do with the guy that's coaching him. We just watching this kid continually figuring the game out, and you can see it slowing down, coach. That's the thing that when it starts to slow down for kids with players like that, it becomes like very scary, coach.
Coach, you know we have our own little group. You know, I done got on McGriff like, boy, that Link boy need to play more. Like you messed around with him last year and did this and did this. Like that boy need to play more. Kojo, that boy got the potential to be real special. I'm telling you.
And now it's like he's getting that. I call it that Chris Davis. Like that's who we put him in the mind of because he got the same frame,
Yeah,
and they kind of play the same position. And Chris used to be ferocious. He was trying to dunk everything he get. And I saw Link that way the other night. One of them highlights, Coach, every time he got it, he was trying to go dunk it. I'm like, that's the next level. Like just being ferocious. Just having that type of mindset is next level. And it seemed like, and if he can get that in 10th grade, and he got 2 more years, so shout out to the Jackets, man, and probably a surprise team, but not Discovery, not a surprise. But is Discovery a surprise? I mean, they lost everything, and they had a big loss right before the season started, and they 4-0 right now, Coach. They haven't lost yet with a lot of new pieces. So shout out to Coach Weeds. First they had their first annual Thanksgiving shootout, the Spartan Hoop Feast, and they picked up the win against Plant City. So it's early, but from them going from losing everything, and shout out to somebody tagged the page the other day about Livingston. Livingston off the bench had 17 the other night. Like, so these kids are going to the next level and they producing. Like, they're not going in and just sitting down. Like, they're going. And I know you like a proud uncle because I know I am. I'm looking at these kids like they transitioning, Coach. They transitioning to the next level and they're not missing a beat. And that's just great for me to see. Like LJ and JP and Isaac, Alex down and Nova.
What's the name? Had a great game for Georgia the other day.
Dylan. Yeah, Coach. Them guys are producing, man. And we just need to make sure, with us, it don't stop with us once you leave us. We're gonna continue to celebrate you. But Coach, those teams, and I know we're gonna do the top 15 here in a minute. I know I'm gonna lose you for a minute, but those guys early on, Coach, maybe Ridge they must have got a lot of new kids. At least 3 of them guys. They name one on the roster last year. I ain't seen these names nowhere. Maybe they was on JV. But this Curtis Walton kid, and then this other kid, like I know addresses are fluid over in that part of Polk County, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I know, that line can get a little hazy between Haines City and Davenport and Ridge and then, if you cough, you're in Osceola. So I don't know, but Skip seemed like he got a couple of ringers over there. So Ridge right now, Coach, I think Ridge might be the surprise. It's early, but after the first 2 weeks of the season, Ridge is undefeated. I don't know if I saw Ridge being 4-0. They picked up 2 wins over at the Hoop Feast for Wiregrass this past weekend. So, but after that, I don't know. Do we want to jump on into the top 15? So we'll post the top 15 tomorrow, but we're gonna go ahead and kind of let y'all know who is where for this week. And we will say as we starting off the disclaimer, we only got one team, like I say, that hasn't played yet, and that is Lakeland. So we're not ranking Lakeland right now in the top 15 or top 20 because they haven't played a game yet. So we had 4 teams that hadn't played last week, but 3 of them played this week, so we can insert them in. So without further ado, so we'll go from 15. We'll go from 15 to 1. So week 3, top 15 teams. And of course, we'll post this in the morning. We'll post it when we post the games for tomorrow. But 15 at 1-1 is Lake Region. 14 at 1 and 2 is George Jenkins. 13 at 0 and 2 is Winter Haven. 12 at 1 and 2 is McKeel. 11 at 1 and 2 is Arbondale. And 10 at 3 and 2, Sebring. 9 at 2 and 1 is Lakeland Christian. 8 at 2 and 1 is Kathleen. 7 at 1 and 0 is Fort Meade. 6 at 2 and 0 is Frostproof. 5 at 2 and 2 is Santa Fe. 4 at 4 and 0 is Ridge. 3 at 4 and 0 is Discovery. 2 at 4 and 0 is Bartow, and 1 at 5 and 0 is Victory. So that is our top 15 for the week, Coach. Are there any surprises? Are there any disappointments? Is it too early to be Is it too early for anybody to be a disappointment, or is it already reason to say some people are?
No, it's too early for disappointments. I still think the parity is not there. We're top heavy, and we've been saying that for the last couple of years. Shout out to the ones that are off to a good start. But I think the holiday season, Christmas tournaments, and whatever is going to be separation time. And we can really see, how good these teams really are once the competition gets a little bit tougher. I don't want to buy too early, and I don't want to sell too early.
Okay.
I think for some people, boy, you might be getting ready to hit the panic button. But like I said, I think the holiday season is going to be where people start to separate themselves.
Okay, so we still got time.
Yes, definitely got time to recover. Definitely got time to improve, and that's the thing about Thanksgiving break, Coach. It was so valuable practice time for us because during like tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, we got to share the gym with the boys. You know what I'm saying? You only get, so much time, and then they only get so much time. During the Thanksgiving break, Coach, you know what I'm saying? We was able to carve out a bunch of time. We was able to slow down. We was able to teach. It was just valuable teaching time for us to improve. Like, we've been getting pressured about playing in some tournament in Jacksonville, and I keep telling John, like, no, we need this teaching time, during the Thanksgiving break in order for us to improve. So I think that's another reason why it's so important to practice during that time.
So, do you think it's more important to practice than play?
Yes, I think it is. You know what I'm saying? It's a like we carved out like 3 hours, right? So we spent an hour and some change on defense, an hour on offense, and get some skill work in. Dribbling, shooting, and everything of that. But we were able to slow things down because once the season starts, everything is like this, like this, like this.
Quick.
We put in a lot of stuff. We got in a lot of sets. We got defenses that people don't know about, they haven't seen, but we still got to practice those things. You know what I'm saying? And we got to be ready to pull those out, when it's time. So we was able to slow everything down. We was able to get into our shell drill and really teaching our half court defense, where everybody should be. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like music, Coach. It's like harmony. Everybody's in sync when we was able to slow those things down.
Okay. All right. Well, so from last week, we do a weekly honor roll, guys that we felt like had really good performances. Now, our disclaimer on this is we can only report what we know happened, right? And I'm typing this stuff up. I'm trying to make sure that we consistent. That's what we want to make sure we're giving you accurate information and consistent and but that means we got to do stuff timely, right? So at certain points, I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna go look for it, And I always say you can either send it to me, you can send it to Coach, send it to Tuma. It don't matter. And if you don't want to send it, just post it. You post it on Matt Press, I go find it. I don't have no problem with that. That's that's part of the gig. But if I don't see it nowhere, once I post it, then I start getting this coach, this kid did this. Hey, coach, this kid does. So anyway, I'm saying what we saw, and if you feel like, oh, such and such did this and y'all missed it, it's not much we gonna miss. I'm on here all the time. Y'all know I'm posting because that's what we do. So if it's not posted, it's a good chance it's not posted. So anyway, so what we just spotlighted some of the performances from last week. So we'll start with MJ. We already talked about MJ. MJ was the MVP up at the Kevin Brown Memorial Tournament of Champions. He averaged 16 and a half and points a game and 6 rebounds throughout the tournament. Christian Fuller, the top transfer in the county from last year with Tampa Prep, earned all county. He averaged 16.2 points, 2.5 rebounds. Oh God, look at Coach Lawson. Happy holidays, Coach Lawson. Shout out to Coach Princeton Harris, also, and Coach Wiley representing Fort Meade. Appreciate y'all in the chat. PC Gridiron, they got you down to one team, sir. Them Dreadnoughts and Lake Wells, man, I thought they had them, and it was PC Gridiron don't mind poking the bell. You saw that post he made about if Lake Wells had Lake offense and defense.
It was quick. He got them.
Yeah, he don't care. He said he put it out there and be ready. He be ready to box with them too. And they be coming to box too.
Him and Frankie related. Him and cousin Frank related.
Yeah, man. Him and cousin Frank, they live for it, man. They do a good job though. Shout out to PC Gridiron, man. Tucker Fox was also named MVP. He averaged 13.7 points, 3.2 rebounds, and 2 steals up there in Illinois. So they had 3 guys go 16, 16, and 13 up, pretty much 14. So James Rattery, we talked about already, exploding out the gate. He had 25 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals in the win over Stranahan, Coach. I mean, I don't know if we talk about that enough with them type of numbers against a state power, and they needed him. They down, and he picked it up. So shout out to James. Jake, I said his name wrong. Jordan Gunter over in Arbondale had 17 points in the win over Tampa Blake at the Hoop Fest in the Bloodhound win.
And they was down, Coach.
And they was down?
It was down.
And he came back. Well, and then we had a Makai Guillaume. I know I'm saying his name wrong, from Frostproof. He has the single high game score for the county so far this year. He had 36 in their win over Four Corners. And then we got this insane stat line. I don't think I ever seen a stat line like this. Is from Toby Lane at Santa Fe against Tampa Chamberlain yesterday over at the Wiregrass Hoop Fest. Coach, 35 points. Sure, that's a career high for Toby. This next one, though, 12 steals, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds. Let me just say that again, because I'll probably register. 35 points, 12 steals, not 12 rebounds, 12 steals, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds.
Bro, and they've been talking, some of the coaches that I talk to on a regular basis have been talking about him defensively. And I told them, I wasn't convinced yet. But when I saw them play this fall, what I'm saying, I started to see what type of impact that he has defensively, Coach. He's always in the right place.
He's always in the right place.
Always in the right place.
And the other thing is, Coach, he is making my thing. What I see from him defensively, he's always in the right place. But 2 things, he's always talking, and he has other guys in the right place. he got people. He is like a true quarterback out there, and he makes them a lot better defensively just because of him. Just because people are where they're supposed to be because of him, and now he's scoring. But we always knew he could score. He just, I mean, you got tape there, so you feed, you feeding the guy, and now you're the guy. You're the guy, and to put up 35 points, coach, that's I'm not surprised, but it's great to see that he is looking for his shot, and he's one of them kids. He's just gonna do whatever it takes for the team to win, and so if that means he got to get him up, for them to win, and that's what it is. But those are
what he has to do as a senior and as a floor general. He's gonna have to pick his spots. He's gonna have to figure out when his team needs him to get everybody else involved, and he's gonna know when to turn that switch on, when to score. So shout out to him. I remember him when he was in middle school. You know what I'm saying, playing at Victory, playing JV at Victory, coach. You can see the development. I wonder, was he ever gonna grow? And he has grown a couple inches since then. But the kid is tough, coach.
And he's not like, I guess, tall measurable wise, but he got his arms so long. He kind of make up for some of that. I mean, you just wish all things he could just get. You can just tap him with about 2-3 more inches. Because can you imagine him at 6'2"? I ain't even saying 6'4", 6'5". You imagine him at 6'2", but he got the wingspan. But you don't. It's like it doesn't hurt, coach. It don't hurt him, coach. He's like, it's only hurting him measurables for what I guess the people at the next level looking for. Before it's him on the floor and his production, and it don't hurt that he doesn't have, I guess, the traditional measurables, because he definitely more than makes up for it with everything else. But shout out to Toby and all the rest of the young men on making our week 2 Polk Hoops honor roll. So moving into week 3, coach, we got a couple games of the week. We got a couple big ones, and then we got a couple that are kind of note. And so just gonna talk about them one at a time and get your thoughts on them. The first one we got, since we got 2 that are kind of, we feel like pretty big ones, we just gonna do 2 games of the week. I'm not gonna try to figure it out. So the first one is Friday night, and if I got the dates wrong, I think I got the games right. I might have the dates wrong. The Villages, those Villages people, this Friday come to Victory. The Villages at Victory on Friday night. So we got, so that's a big one matchup, right? So we got both of those teams finished as state runners-up last year in their respective classifications, right? Victory in 1A, of course, and Villages in, was they 3A, I think? 3A. That's what I put on there. It wasn't 3, I'm wrong. 3 or 4A, one of them. 4, but they both were state runners-up, right? Yeah. So we got Victory with Tucker, Foot, Chris, Miles. So they've developed a pretty good 3-man guard rotation. Then they got MJ. They got side to side with Thalkin and Arik. And then they got, the TJ kids. So they deep. They about 9-10 deep. And we saw a glimpse of Villages at the shootout. We had the coach playing at Santa Fe. And we know that they didn't have all their pieces. They were missing some guns, right? They didn't have all their bullets, right? I'm assuming they're gonna have all their bullets Friday. So both teams got a full clip. What's your thoughts or take, or what's your analysis of that one? What's your thoughts on that?
Heavyweight fight early to see where you're at. I think it's a real challenge to see if you actually got the team to compete with the Sagemont for the 1A state championship. And not only Sagemont, Impact, is supposed to be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And who else is in that 1A?
Zephyr Hills or North Tampa, one of them.
Zephyr Hill's not in it. North Tampa, possibly. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna give you a really good indication on whether you can compete with them for the state championship, or is it the Sage One Invitational right now? I expect a heavyweight fight. I expect Victory to be really, really tough at home. But if you're asking me to pick, I think that's gonna be their first loss, and it's gonna be a close game.
So you think Villages gets on the road, gets on I-4, and comes down here and knocks off Victory at home on a Friday night?
Yes, sir. If you're asking me to pick, you know what I'm saying, and it's about basketball, coach. It's not about some emotional decision. It's not about nothing like that, because I'm just like you. It's Polk versus everybody. If we just speak in basketball,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think the Villages is another well coached team, and we saw that.
Yes.
They run really, really good stuff, and the
They,
Villages preparation, coach. I see them calling people sets out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they
and
are very talented, coach. They are insanely talented. They got the kid that was from Polk County that went over there. So
Joe Mar, he's only a junior.
He's top ranked in his class, right?
Probably, he's definitely up there, because he's gonna be.
Look, so they got 4 guys in top 50 in different
Coach,
classes.
remember we saw the freshman that was the point guard that was insanely good.
Tough, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, it's gonna be a heavyweight fight, and it's gonna be. I'm mad. I'm gonna be missing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that they had a huddle camera up or something so I can actually watch it. You
Yeah,
know,
I gotta make sure that what's name is, but people from NFS just is doing their job.
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm hoping Victory knocks them off. That would be a great staple win for them. That'll boost their confidence through the roof. You know what I'm saying? But if we talking basketball, like I said, I would take Villages with a 10-point game for sure.
Well, you know me. Thank you, Coach Fitzgerald. You already know where I am at with it. I think going to Illinois, getting the and playing like they did, and they at home. I think they're about 8 points better at home than they are on the road. I think that environment is going to be bananas. They have developed a very nice student section, and I like Fitzgerald. Obviously, he got Coach Collins on the sidelines. I think that's a staple. Now, if they play 10 times, do I think Villages might win the series? Maybe. But one game at home on a Friday night, I like Victory in that one, and I don't know what the score will be. I like Victory because of Fuller. I love Fuller and what he has, how he has meshed with them, and how he just, like I say, he's just and then MJ is MJ, but I love Fuller, so I don't know if that'll be an upset, but I think Victor will get that one.
I like Fuller and MJ to do what they normally do. I expect Tucker to really explode out of his shooting slump. I didn't think he shot the ball as well as I seen him shoot it up in Illinois, but at home he's gonna have a lot of confidence. I think the difference maker is gonna be Miles. Like, Miles is gonna have to get everybody involved, not turn the ball over, and he's gonna have to hit some shots too. You know what I'm saying? And he's got to be that X factor that that the Villages may look over. You know what I'm saying? You
I
know,
can see that. I can see him not being in the scout report to offensively.
yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. So,
Like I said, I expected it to be a heavyweight fight early, but
I mean, it's tough. I mean, you look at what Coach Blicker just put on the screen. I mean, if you look at what they're gonna roll out, what they're gonna get out the car with, I get it. I trust me. I mean, but I'm so impressed with Coach. I'm so impressed with Coach Fitzgerald.
yes,
Coach Blicker, McGriff, that they schedule these type of games. Like we not running from people, and to get that type of just look, Coach. Last week, 2 weeks ago, we got Lakeland. We had Lake Highland Prep come to a gym in Lakeland.
Mm-hmm.
This week we got the Villagers coming to a gym in Polk County, Lakeland. But we're getting this quality type of teams to come to us, and it's not the Mosaic. That's even to say that the level that these programs like Victor and Santa Fe have risen Polk County basketball, that because teams like that, they wouldn't be coming to. I'm not coming over there. I'm not coming to do that. Now they don't mind coming to us because we got quality state level people, and them people want to play. They want to play people that. So that's a testament to what they think about Santa Fe and Victory, that they'll come and we'll come to you.
Facts. So, and it gives you a hostile environment road game. You know what I'm saying? You got
it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense for me. It got to make sense for me. I'm not gonna waste my time. So I'm so impressed with the level of basketball that's coming to play us, as opposed to us always got to go find the games. So, and for that reason, like I said, obviously I'm just insanely Polk County. But I mean, I trust me, I get it. That's just gonna be a great game just for the kids, and hopefully the people show up. And
like I said, I gotta figure out. Coach Jackson said it's gonna be streamed. I gotta look at our schedule. We're gonna be 3 hours behind. I gotta make sure I set my alarm to make sure I'm in.
Yeah, you gotta get yourself in there. I'm definitely gonna be tuned in and smiling the whole time. So our other game of the week, Coach, this has become arguably the top rivalry probably in the last 5 years, and that's Santa Fe at Bartow. Now, I got Thursday, but I saw where Coach Lawson said Wednesday, so I got in my notes say December 4th, and that's Thursday, right? Coach Blicker, is it Thursday or is it Wednesday? I want folks coming for me if I post it wrong. But they play this week, Santa Fe. So the annual rivalry resumes. It's in Bartow this year, and that's just me now. I say it's the top rivalry in the last 5 years, so it's Thursday. Okay, I got it right. So I don't know if you agree with that, Coach, but we got two of the top coaches in the state, in McGriff and Blicker. This Toby Rattery matchup, these point guard matchups are gonna be fun to watch, and just talk about it, Coach. I'll be quiet, let you talk about it. What's your take on that? What's your breakdown for the other game of the week, Santa Fe at Bartow?
Man, I remember this game last year where I think Bartow was down almost 20 or something and came back and won this game. It's been going back and forth for years. I think it's a great county matchup, and it's early too. I'm surprised this is not on a Friday too. But
I was surprised that it's in Bartow and it's not on a Friday. These big games, McGriff like to have on Friday. So
like to have on Friday. Bartow's a year older, and Santa Fe lost Tate, and I think that's gonna be the difference. I expect Toby to be poised and have a good game, but I won't be surprised that McGriff send the house at him too, just to get the ball out of his hands, and just make it tough for him. Make somebody else beat him is what he's gonna try to do, and it's gonna be on who steps up for Santa Fe, other than him, to make that, to give them a chance to win. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, it's still gonna be a great game. I expect it to be close. Is it at Bartow or at Santa Fe?
It's at Bartow.
I like Bartow at home.
At home. Coach Blicker said he thought when it was a Thursday, he thought it was going to be sponsor night. You do not want to get caught up on sponsor night at Bartow High School. Well, that is a kiss of death. Now you way past sponsor night status, Coach Blicker.
Jenkins took that for you.
Yeah, you done. That was probably when you first got over there. You way past that now.
Because I wouldn't be surprised that Santa Fe be leading early. Can they sustain it the whole game? Like I said, it'd be a great challenge for them.
It depends, If I don't know if Wallace is playing. I know that the report was that he's back after Thanksgiving. So if he plays for Bartow, obviously that's a huge addition who they ain't had yet. But I mean, they've been playing well without him. Now Crawford has been slow out the gate, just looking at some of the numbers. He hasn't really, so I don't know if he's ready to break out or whatnot. I'm not sure, but
I don't think they, other than the Jenkins game, they haven't played anything else at home, have they?
No, they played. Yeah, I think the rest of them been. They played Stranahan, they played East River, and they played somebody else because they didn't play 4 games, so they played somebody else.
And they're usually better in the Hive. I will give them that.
They play better than the Hive. I think it's gonna be a great one for Toby, like you said. He done seen it all, so it won't be. I mean, and you know what you're gonna get from him. You just got to make sure them other guys, that he gets something and they don't get rattled.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the ball out of his hands. I'm forcing somebody else to make a play for sure.
But it PC Gridiron. My boy shoot first and then see what he hit with the smoke clear. It's tough to win. It's tough to win in Bartow, PC Gridiron. That is well documented. I think the key I really think, and Coach Fitzgerald, you're reading my mind. I think the key for Santa Fe is not Toby, because you know what you got from Toby. I think it's Newkirk, because, like you said, if McGriff going to be trying to get the ball out of Toby's hand, you got to have somebody else who can make a play up. Last year that was Tate. If you get the ball out of Toby's hands, you got Tate, and if you get the ball out of Tate's hand, you got Toby. So that was you couldn't really do anything either way with them two guys. But so I think how Uriah plays will will go a long way toward how they do in this game. So those are our 2 games of the week. Yeah, so this will be the second home game for Bartow. So it'll be interesting. It should be wild, and it should be a great atmosphere for high school basketball. Since it's on a Thursday night, we don't have to compete with each other. So y'all can go to Santa Fe and Bartow on Thursday, and you can turn around and go to Villages and Victory on Friday to get both of them. Both bang for your buck.
Tyrell, I need you to go live Thursday, bro. Need you to go live. Being Bartow on Thursday.
Big boy game. So Lake Region, they in the chat, and Coach Billy D can put his referee hat on for a minute. We need, and I say this all the time, this is my soapbox. Make sure we got big boy refs for these big boy games, and let the kids go out there and let the kids win it. Let the kids have it, line it up, and whoever the best squad is, let that be the best squad. That's my soapbox, Coach. Say again.
I'm a screenshot.
Hold on, let me put it where you can see it even better. We just let's get big boy refs for big boy games. We got quality state level competition. These 4 teams are some of the top teams in the state, not the district or the county. So let's make sure we give our best to our best. And that's always going to be our theme here at Polk Coots. And that's Coach Barnes, Coach Billy D kind of wear 2 hats. So that's me talking. Y'all send somebody over there to let those guys win the game on the floor. Let the best team win. And I'm sure that's all the coaches want. And I know that's all the kids want. So let them line it up and let the best team win. So those are our 2 games of the week. Couple other games that are of interest. We got McKeel at Arvindale. And I say this is interesting because McKeel might end up being, I mean, this was before Ridge started doing all they doing. McKeel might end up being one of the kind of sleeper teams in the county this year. They got a couple pieces over there that a lot of folks don't really know about. So they can end up being decent, coach. And we know Arvindale, we got them. I mean, they kind of took a tough one over in the Metro, but then they bounced back at the Ocala tournament Friday. But we got high expectations for Arvindale, but McKeel can sneak around and be decent. Now, we ain't saying they gonna win no region or nothing because they in there with them people. But they still, I think they gonna have a chance to have a decent squad. So that's a game of interest. That's Tuesday night in Arvindale. Another one that's kind of interest, and this might just be a Coach Barnes special. Tuesday night, two of my former kids that I coached squared off against each other, family, teammates, all that. Lakeland travels, and I put this on for no other two reasons, because Lakeland is playing before Christmas and who they playing and who the coaches are. So Lakeland goes to Jenkins. So you got Coach Taylor coaching against his family, his cousin, Coach Dennis. And it's at Jenkins.
Who you got?
I got my guy. I got my kid. I can't lose, coach. I got my guy. My guy's gonna win the game.
I will say this. I was admin at Davenport Jenkins, and I am thoroughly impressed what Coach Dennis is doing over at Jenkins in the amount of time that he's been there. You know what I'm saying? Coach, he got them kids playing hard. Not only varsity, but the JV, the varsity kids were supporting the JV team and vice versa, coach. They had like the whole of family culture over there. It was impressive. And I know he hadn't been there that long. So I am encouraged about the Jenkins program and where it's going right now.
Man, I love to hear that. Because, Coach, what they say, if you raise them up, when they old, they won't depart from it.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, that's how they was raised, Coach. You from way back with the fire. So I'm very happy to hear that. Like you said, he came in. That was a tough situation he came into. So he got the right attitude, and like you said, they play hard. I'm just for them two. That's gonna be interesting. Them coaching against each other, but then, like I say, Lakeland playing. Because when last time Lakeland played a game before Christmas break?
They usually
football season over with.
They usually play around that second week in December. Not the first week. I don't remember them ever playing the first week.
It's the earliest they played.
It's the earliest they played.
But this also might be the most basketball player led team that he's ever had too. So he legitimately has 5 or 6 basketball kids. So you got the Armani kid who is the top freshman in the county. You got Tyson, who had a great freshman season. Then you got the Van Zant kid from Wharton. So you got some good pieces. And then Jenkins got the Pierpoint kid back for his last year, and then the big kid Bell inside who's having a good season starting off. So the next one we got, coach, and we got might need his own reality show. We got another game on Thursday night of interest is Winter Haven at Berkeley Prep. Now, Winter Haven came out. They off to a slow start. They lost to First Academy, and then they lost to Dr. Phillips, and now they got Berkeley Prep. And all these games have been away, so they haven't really touched home yet. And Berkeley Prep is normally a very tough place to, very tough, hostile environment. So maybe Coach Woodside is doing the same approach, getting them early into these, throwing them into this fire to see how they do. But I thought that would be an interesting game, especially seeing how the guys kind of how the new guys, because he got a brand new team too for the most part, is trying to get them all going in the right direction. So I think that's going to be a tough one for Winter Haven. It's going to be interesting, but them the kind of games that you got to play if you feel like you got a shot to kind of do something. But off the top, coach, Berkeley Prep, Dr. Phillips, and First Academy, I think your first 3 games, none of them at home.
Yeah,
that's a tough
That's
out the block, coach, straight out the thing,
tough.
coach.
That's very tough, coach.
Yeah.
So, but my thing is he's always done that. You know what I'm saying? It's normal for him to have a tough schedule, and plus he got some new pieces. He's trying to see how they're gonna respond. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe it's the strength of schedule because he's gonna definitely get some points for them games.
Coach Winter Haven last year won what 2 games and was like the 2nd or 3rd seed in their district. Like strength of schedule matters, coach. Strength of schedule matters. So
it matters. And so the last 2 we got, Coach, Friday, we got Discovery is heading over to Port Charlotte, which that'll be a good little sneaky little because Port Charlotte ain't bad, and that's a nice little road game just to see where Discovery's at with the new team.
I'm interested because that coach does a great job. We seen them in the Bartow.
He does in the Bartow
ball shootout. So that's gonna be a tough road game for them.
So Berkeley Prep had us talent, like Coach Blicker say. They get them, they groom them, and then they go somewhere else. So I just think that's going to be a good one for them. And then the last one on Saturday, they having the first annual Carter Cup shootout in Arbondale, hosted by Arbondale High School. So shout out to Coach E, doing a memorial tournament for Carter. You remember his story from a couple years ago. They got the nightcap. Arbondale's playing Tampa Prep. And I know Tampa Prep just lost their best kid. He's putting up 16 a game for victory now. So I don't know if Tampa Prep got anything left. I just thought that'd be probably a pretty good one.
Legend with Coach Finland at Tampa Prep. He's been there forever, like 30-some years. You know what I'm saying? But I like Arbondale at home for sure.
So Arbondale getting some good work as well. They playing a lot of good teams that are not really from around. Now, okay. So Port Charlotte is still playing. It ain't basketball season yet in Port Charlotte. So that's a big plus for Discovery. And I know Bartow go over to Port Charlotte this week too. They go over there like on Tuesday, and then they play Santa Fe home on Thursday. So obviously that's not all of the games. Those are just kind of our games of the week. As far as what we think are going to be probably the kind of most competitive games. But back to the top: Villages, Victory, Santa Fe, Bartow. Big boy games. Let's playoff basketball early. It's like them feast week type games they show on ESPN. They give you the matchups that you want, early on. And these are matchups that we want. We want to see our best playing other people's best. And it's just a extra that they get to do it at home. That we getting the respect now. They'll come to us outside of the Mosaic. But for a while, them type of schools wouldn't come to Polk County unless they would come to the Mosaic. So now for you to come for a regular season game, especially in December, that is, we have come a mighty, what they saying come a mighty, mighty long way. So good luck to everybody this week, man. So, but that's all that I got on my sheet, Coach. Anything else that you got on yours before we jump off? I know y'all got some stuff going on your side, so we always give you a chance to, talk about yours for a minute. So you got it.
I will say, me and Johnny talked about it today. We don't know what type of team that we have. We know what type of program that we have. We know what type of culture that we have, but we still trying to figure these kids out. We've developed these kids for a couple of years now. they not the household names that we've had in the past, but these kids are tough because we played two great opponents this past weekend. We had Cardinal Mooney, 3A state champion from a year ago, Pumping Beach Ely. Usually have a tough program, and these kids, they showed up and played well. They showed us some things that we can have confidence in, and we have a whiteout game Tuesday against the First Academy out of Orlando. And then on Wednesday afternoon, we are leaving for Fresno, California. We have 4 games in 3 days, Coach. We have never done that before. We actually have 2 games on Saturday against Clovis and Clovis West. Clovis West is the host team, supposed to be really, really good. So we're putting them to the test and
So
to the fight.
the host team scheduled y'all, Coach?
Coach, the host team scheduled us at
Oh,
the last game on Saturday, Coach. So I don't know if, what I'm saying, if it's our reputation or, maybe they think we're a duck. I don't know. But I tell you what, though, we're going to come with our work boots on, our hard hats, and we going to at least pinch them leaving up out of there. They're going to know who we are.
Coach Blicker, Coach Billy Diaz, he getting more and more. It's harder and harder to listen to his takes on his girls team, and he don't went from not just saying it on here where people ain't really gonna remember it. He don't start writing it down and posting it. We just trying to find our way, and man, it was so. If I don't look at the score when I'm reading his status, I'm like, damn, they was in a dogfight. And I look at the scoreboard, shit say 70-43. I'm like, man, let me get off Facebook. This dude, this dude just typing characters, man. Like he got a whole thing, and I'm glad Savante. Shout out to Savante for calling him out in the comments. Savante, one of your former players. Yeah, we just trying to see what we can do, and we just be happy if we can be in the game in the fourth with a chance to maybe win the game. And then they up 40, Lawson. When was we fighting? Then we up 40.
Coach, we trying to keep it in the road, Coach. Just trying to keep it in the road.
Man, your credibility, your post game breakdown is becoming less and less. Less and less believable, man. I just see that and I start.
We're gonna keep it that way.
23 points in a game. That's barely 5 points a quarter. I mean, I know it's been a while since I've been in school and did math, but I carried the one and new math, old math, partial quotient. 23 but divided by 4 is what, 6 points a quarter? But we struggling, y'all. We're struggling. It's real tough. We're trying to find baskets and we're trying to see who can play. And I'm like, man, shit. I'm sorry. It's a family show. But anyway, man. So y'all are going out to Fresno. So amazing opportunity for the girls to be able to get on planes and go all the way cross country. And seriously, and play. It's like kind of like with Victory. They got to go play 4 games. Got on a plane, went to Illinois. Is priceless for the bonding that y'all gonna get to do, and being around each other, and then like you're saying, I already know. I see, and that's the thing. This is what I'm saying. What you just said about the people scheduling y'all. On here, I know ain't what you said in the gym, and I know that ain't what Johnny said. I know the conversation with somebody scheduling us. So I said, they y'all see what they did? They scheduled us. They think y'all sweet. They think y'all homecoming. I know how the conversation. They think y'all sponsor night, Coach Blicker. They think we sponsor night. They bringing us from out of the side, putting us up. To put it on. They don't think y'all can play no basketball in Florida. That's what they tell. That's what you're really saying. But on here,
I appreciate the PG version of it too.
And I know that's what I'm saying. I'm PG because it's a family show. So I know in the gym it ain't no PG version. I know it's rated R, rated X, or rated X, what it is, NC-17, whatever the movie things is. I get it. Remember, my niece was in there, so I know how the conversation go and what's going on here. But I mean, having said that, man, just for real though, that's a outstanding opportunity. Exactly, Marla. Like, oh, come on, man, what we talking about? So hopefully they'll be showing it live because I want to check y'all out. So y'all tell everybody again what's the schedule.
Hold on, I do have it.
Does Coach Blicker trying to start something? If we rank all the teams, boys and girls, does LBD, and we didn't have such an abundance of respect for Polk County girls basketball, that would be an interesting thing to do. Coach, if you had to, are you staying out of it?
I had to. Do I have to?
You don't have to. I said if you had to, would you all be without giving a specific number? Would you think that LBD, if we did overall gender free, we did gender free.
Gender free. You got to put us number one.
So you're saying y'all number one overall, boys and girls, no gender.
How long are we going back?
No. I'm talking about like right now.
Right now?
These teams this year. Not overall, not a traditional. Like if we're ranking, like we just did the top 15. If we were saying top 15 overall, boys and girls, without saying, just.
I mean, I like us over everybody. You know what I'm saying? But we'll be no lower than 3.
No lower than 3.
But I like us at 1 still. Like I said, we still coming off a championship for 1. 2, we played just as good of competition as our top 2 right now. We played just good of competition as Bartow and as Victory has played so far. So, but like I said, we'll be no lower than 3. But I'm gonna take us at 1 all day, every day.
Boy, Coach you're doing some PC gridiron stuff with that one. You threw one out there just then. That's interesting.
Man, you got me trying to find the schedule.
Jeremy Bell say you think that if y'all actually went out there and played, he's just talking about it on paper.
Oh, come on, man. Like, man. No, man. Look, boys game, they'll be physically, you know what I'm saying? They'll be able to really overpower us in the end. But don't think it's sweet now. My kid's not going to back down for sure. You know what I'm saying? We'll suit it up against anybody. We're not scared of anybody.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's who. It's still basketball, right? I mean, y'all pressuring the ball, so they got to be able to beat pressure, right? I mean, yeah, that would be. I mean, it won't happen, but it's good conversation. It's good to talk about. It's good to. But that would be interesting if we did that. But like I said, I do think that Winter Haven girls style of basketball would supersede some boys, and I'm not going to be specific with none of it. So don't ask me nothing. Don't ask me no team. Don't ask me no specific ranking because I'm not going to participate other than to say that it would be interesting. But I do think that Winter Haven girls, I think they could beat some of our boys teams, and for no other reason because of how they play defense. And some of our boys teams struggle with pressure right now, pressure and depth.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Winter Haven's strength, and that's a lot of our guys' weakness. So,
Coach, I have the schedule now.
Okay.
So this is Pacific time. We play at Clovis West It's called the Central Valley Showdown. It's a Nike tournament. We played Thursday, December 4th at 5:30 against Carruthers on team out of Cali. And then on Friday we play at 5:30 again um, against Clovis. And then Saturday is gonna be the tale of the tape. We play against Centennial at 12, and then we play at 6 o'clock against Clovis West on Saturday. So that's never been done before by us. But we welcome the challenge, and we're curious to see how our kids are going to respond.
So what was the rationale with them giving y'all that? Is that everybody? That's just y'all? Like how did that happen?
They
That y'all
they recommended that everybody played 4 games. They said they will make special considerations if we only could play 3. Me and Johnny talked about it in depth. My thing is like, what type of opportunity will we have for that here? And we talking about like level of competition also. Then also, we struggle as far as filling our schedule out too. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we can get a bunch of quality games
right?
here. So that also, we had to take that in consideration also.
Yeah.
So, why not?
Why not? Hey, why not? And like you said, it's a Nike tournament.
Yeah.
It's in case it's great
Yeah.
exposure. It's great. It's great. It's a great change of venue and just a chance for you to see
Yeah.
see
So,
where
and
you
the
can.
host team has 2 games that day too. So it's an even playing field.
And so this is all at like a high school. Is that like a field house type deal, or is that the one high school is hosting
I
all
think
of
it's at a high school.
them?
Like I
Okay.
said, at Clovis West.
So y'all leaving out Wednesday, and then you play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then y'all fly back on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
That'd be great. That's great. That's great. That's great. And that the girls get to go out. They get to represent Polk County, represent their families, and like you say, and playing a high level competition.
Yeah.
That's what they. I mean, that's what they
It's fun.
striving to do. That's what they're gonna be doing. They trying to go to the next level anyway. So it's
Yeah.
great
And
exposure.
we just hoping that maybe some college scouts out to see our younger players and maybe give them an opportunity to maybe play ball on the West Coast. You just never know.
Never know. But shout out to the LBD man. Shout out to Frank in the chat. Everybody in the chat tonight, man. We had a very appreciate y'all tapping in. A lot of coaches, lot of coaches, lot of X's and O's, and we always enjoy the conversation, man. So big week this week, man. Everybody is playing. Even Lakeland, even though it's still football season, Lakeland's still playing. So everybody is playing this week. So we always like to see that. And once again, shout out to Durham Link, man. It's off from Mississippi State. Shout out to Victory going up north and winning the championship, and MJ MVP Tucker and Christian all tournament for Victory, and y'all get out and support Polk County basketball, man. We got the best product in the state. We don't take it for granted, and for us, we don't take it for granted as well. We appreciate all the love, all the support. Y'all always rocking with us, man. We appreciate y'all, and so y'all have a good week. That's all we got for tonight. Until next time, Polk Hoops. We are out. Thank y'all, man. Y'all be safe. Stay low key. Stay out the way.